I am your co-host Rob, and this is the other host Jenny. This podcast will be covering everything from weekly news to outrageous stories. We will also dive into things that make us happy, sad, and even angry. We hope you enjoy everything you're about to hear and stick with us through the series. Our first topic of the day will be things that give us the ick, i.e. cringe us out.
Yeah.
Right.
Thanks, Rob.
Cool. Right. So, Jenny, do you want to start us off with what gives you the ick?
Yeah, I actually had quite a few, but I won't go into all of it. I think a lot of us can relate when we're at work and we have loads of like meetings and calls when everyone switches their camera off, or they just don't go camera on, and there's that one person that has the camera on. Yeah. And they still have the camera on throughout the meeting, even though no one has their cameras on. You're like, who are you talking to? Who are you looking at?
Yeah, and you can just see them awkwardly staring down the camera, knowing that they're the only ones on, but they'll go with it the whole time.
Yeah. I think we know there's quite a few people that, because Rob and me, we used to work together, and there's quite a few people that we can already, obviously no names mentioned, but where they have just kept the camera on, just looked around awkwardly.
They know who they are. And it's always it's always the newbies, which to be fair, I get, because when you first try to make an impression and stuff, you have to leave your camera on for a bit. But by the third or fourth meeting where no one's doing it, come on, just turn it off.
Yeah. We don't like enthusiastic people.
Exactly, which makes me wonder how we ever used to do face-to-face meetings so much, because but then you go into a room and everyone just be sat around a table staring into a blank notepad like.
Yeah, very true. Yeah. So that's my first one to kick us off. What about you, Rob?
So I had one. So my sort of main one, which doesn't happen that often, but it happened the other week, so it's like top of my mind, was awkward handshakes and hugs. I was in the pub maybe a couple of weeks ago, and we walked in, and then there's these two guys that we used to go to school with. Bear in mind, we barely spoke to them in school.
Yeah.
It's secondary school, this is. And then we're like, oh, look, there's so-and-so. I hope they don't see us, whatever. So lo and behold, we're still at bar, complete opposite ends of the room. One of them's come up to us. I'm on the phone at this point to
Were you pretending to be on the phone?
No, I was actually on the phone, but my other two mates were with me, and I could see him shaking their hands. I'm like, for fuck's sake, here we go. And he come up to me he's put his fist out to fist pump me. So I've gone like that as well. Then as we've gone like that, he's put his hand out. So we've just literally gone like that. I'm like, oh my God. And then he's gone like that, and then I've gone like that. And honestly, I just wanted to die. Luckily, I had the phone as a bit of a distraction. And then eventually I just went, look. And honestly, I wanted to walk out of the room. It was that bad.
It's with the lingering in it. You're just like, what are we doing? We're dancing.
Yeah, and I think just hugging in general and just greetings. I think over lockdown, we lost a sort of a way to communicate, because you could just log into a meeting like this and you could just be like, all right. Whereas, I don't know, it's just then when you first meet people after not seeing them for 2-3 years, you're like, going for a hug, you barely knew them anyway.
Yeah.
Especially at work and things. It just very awkward. But that was ridiculous. I left school. I hadn't seen him since I was 16. Bear in mind, I'm nearly 32. And it's like 16 years. I didn't speak to you at school, and now it's just, why did you make it so awkward?
And did you both still look the same?
I mean, we've put on a bit of timber, both of us, which is inevitable. But,
especially when you're a parent.
Yeah, exactly. So I think he's a parent as well, but still kept our hair, so we looked a little bit the same. But yeah, that's my main one.
That's a good one. That is a good one. I'm just looking at my list. What have I got? Oh God, another work-related one. I'm sure a lot of people get asked this, and I'm pretty sure me being me has also asked this during an interview. When you're asked in an interview, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, man. I don't even know what I'm going to do tomorrow, let alone 5 years.
Yeah, and it's not going to be at that company that you're at. So.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. So yeah, that's a short and sharp one. But yeah, I just kind of think like interviews nowadays is just really cringe. I think I saw like an article a few days ago about interviewing. There's one company that was the way that they interview is very like personal. And quite good actually. I quite liked it. I don't know if you saw it, Rob. I don't think I shared it with you. Basically, the CEO he interviews people based on what they're like as a person. So from the moment that you get into the door to greeting the receptionist, if you don't greet them or if you don't like smile or whatnot, that's like a no-no. Straight away. It's like, nah, I'm not gonna hire that person. And another tip that he gave was he would always walk with a candidate to the coffee to get a coffee or tea. And after the interview, if they don't offer to put their mugs away, for him, that's like a no-no as well. Like if they just leave the mug there, then it kind of shows their personality. Like, you're a bit sloppy, don't put away shit. I kind of think I quite like that, but I don't know what you think.
Good. It's good, but the only problem with that is it's not your standard interview, so you might not think to act in a certain way. I don't know, because all the interviews we've had, I guess, all we do is some interview, presentation, and maybe like a test, maths test or something like that, which is just the worst way when you think about it. Like, it just makes no sense because it's really high pressured and time pressured situation. So yeah, I guess that's a good way to do it. But if they need to give you a sort of heads up about that, though, I think if it's going through things like a recruiter, they should say, okay, just go in, be yourself, pick up any mugs or something.
But what if your natural self is to be a complete dickhead? Like you don't greet the receptionist or you don't greet like the security guard. You just.
Well, yeah, I think you can you get a feeling for people, don't you? I've only interviewed like a handful of people, so it's really hard to tell. And I'll normally go on personality rather than whether they're actually good. Because you can kind of tell from a CV, and you can call them out in a couple bits, and if they don't know what they're talking about, they've clearly made it up.
Yeah, true.
So you just got to call them out in a couple bits, and then just go full personality. But I don't know. Yeah, it depends on the company as well, doesn't it? Because the company we work for is obviously a massive company, so they don't really tend to care about personality anymore. I think they used to.
Yeah.
I think now it's just it's a numbers game because they're so desperate for staff and things like that. Well, most companies are.
Yeah.
So they kind of just get the first person to come along. But
yeah, that's my one. What's your one?
The classic work suck ups. There's plenty of them about.
Have you ever been a work suck up, Rob?
No, not really.
I can't imagine it.
I think my soul left. My work soul left on my first proper job. I think because once you realise things in terms of the progression, pay rises, and things, that they don't really matter. No matter what you do, it's all based on when finance have money, basically. You can push for things, I guess, but then comes into this work suck up thing. You have to really you have to turn up to all the meetings, proper, be enthusiastic. I know this is what you should be doing at most jobs, but it's like there's a limit, man. Some people proper go all out and volunteer for everything, and
presenting every meeting or every world company meeting or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just not someone what I am. And don't get me wrong, I'm not to my own horn, but I am pretty decent at what I do. And people have always said that, but because you don't go that extra mile, you'll never get that promotion. But it's like, well, that's fine. I'll just leave, which is what I've done at every single place. And a lot of the time, it's not worth staying and sucking up because you can work your ass off for 2 years solid, whatever. Be promised this pay rise, and then suddenly, oh no, we haven't got any money, or we're only giving you a couple thousand, which I know a lot of people like nurses and stuff kill for, and they're trying to fight their corner. But in our line of work is a bit different, so you kind of push it a little bit. Yeah, that's mine. I just can't deal, and it just cringes me out, man. I just can't do it. And there's a certain type of person that is like that, and they're always the same, which is annoying.
Yeah, then you got to have proper thick skin to do that. Yeah, it's a skill.
Yeah, you got to really have no sort of barriers. You just got to just think there's no limit. You just got to just go for it. But it's not me, I'm afraid.
That's a good one, man. I completely relate to that.
Yeah.
All right. Shall I do my next one?
Yeah, go for it.
I'll do one more.
Yeah, just do one more each.
Okay, yeah, one more each. Let's see a good one. Oh God, this one. So it's not work related, it can be work related, but at any point where like you're eating or you can hear someone eating, chewing really loud, drinking, swallowing. Oh my God.
Oh yes, killer, innit?
Do you do it?
Do I realize? No.
Are you a loud chewer?
No way. I'm so conscious of people when they do it. No way, no.
Oh, it annoys me, man. I think there's times obviously because when I'm feeding Lara, it's like not late at night, like like 9-10 o'clock at night, and then Simon would be having like a snack or something. And I'm feeding Lara, all I can hear, my fucking other ear, is like makes me like ah, yeah,
munching away.
Yeah, that's my one.
Yeah, I don't really have that. Not many people do that around me. I don't know. Really? Luckily, if they did, I'd call them out. But
yeah.
What we got? Right. Okay. So these kind of blend into one a little bit.
Right.
So when you have to meet your miss, actually no, let's not go with that one.
What is it?
No, it's going to be meet your missus' friends' partners.
Oh, you can add another one to that after, because you got some good ones, man.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your one and then another one.
All right, let's do quiet people.
Okay.
Quiet people. I get some people are shy. I get it. I was shy when I was younger, and it took me going to uni and things, getting jobs and things, come out my shit. I'm still a little bit shy now sometimes.
Are you?
Nah, not really. I think it's more I just can't be asked.
I was gonna say you can't be asked.
Yeah, but there's certain people now, especially this Gen Z generation. I don't know if it's because they've not been interacting for a key period of their life between like 19 and 21, when it was just they were stuck indoors or something. I don't know. But there's some people you see now, you can't even get 2 words out of them. And it's painful. I went to my last job when I was contracting. There's people in that office. You'd be sat around a table at lunch, just trying to pull conversation out of them, and it'd be me doing all the talking. There's like 5 or 6 people sat around the table, and I think they're all below the age of 26 and stuff. There's a couple of them who are quite chatty, obviously, things like that. Yeah. Some is just painful. You can't get anything out of them. It just does my head in. When you have to force the conversation as well, this kind of leads to another one where it's things we just have nothing in common with people.
Yeah, true.
Especially as a bloke, you have like a couple of go-tos. Like, what sport do you like? Normally, do you like football? Easy one. It's I don't really like football. What do you like? I don't know. They might like gaming, for example. Kind of loosely like this. Or they might like drinking and going out and just having a bit of fun. Fine. It's 2 things I can latch onto a little bit. When it's like when they've got no sort of interest, or they're just like really weird shit.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
It's hard to get in.
Yeah. Then is that just me being selfish? Is that me just like, because they don't like what I like? They're just weird. I don't know.
Well, no, I don't think so. I think firstly it's like, because you said they're quite young. So they're not going to be parents. Well, I don't think so. I'm just assuming that old.
I'm 32. I'm not like fucking in my 50s. You know what I mean?
I know, but that is like, for young people, that's quite old.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I used to look at 30-year-olds when I was starting out, thinking you're basically
exactly. And look at you now.
I know.
Your 30s. Yeah, it's hard. Quiet people, I think. Yeah, I feel like I'm not particularly loud. Like you and me, I feel like that's where we can like chalk and cheese. But we're not like loud people, and we're not like super chatty either. But when we do chat, it's like it flows, the convo flows, and there's always stuff that we can chat about, whether it's like work related or some weird shit that we've seen online. But I think with young people it's hard because their way of communicating is like messaging, like WhatsApp or Instagram. Do people still using Snapchat? Don't know, man. Or TikTok. It's like the latest trend now, isn't it? So I think that's the way that they communicate. But I get it, man. It's awkward because when you're always making conversation, you're just like, you get tired.
Yeah, it just makes it's because that sinking feeling of like, I'm gonna have to make an effort now.
Yeah. And if you're really thinking hard of what topics to chat about with these people, and you're like, oh God.
Yeah, it's a killer, isn't it? Proper killer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
But also, because you didn't want to talk about it, your partner's friends.
No, it's when you have to meet up your missus partner's other halves. Like
that you know or don't know, or just
yeah. Well, we don't. Well, you know of them, but it's like the first time we meet them almost. And it's just, I remember once we had to go on like we went out for a meal, and there was like, geez, three of them, two of our mates, and us, and then like the two boyfriends came. And it's just like, and this is another case of the guy. One of her, they're not together anymore, but her ex was like a wrestler. I thought, that's pretty different.
Yeah.
That's all he knew, wrestling. He didn't know anything else. Like we didn't have any other. And it's just almost just so awkward, and then you just end up chatting amongst the girl mates and things like that. And it's just, no, it's just, can't be dealing, man. Just, but luckily I've met most of them now.
Yeah.
It's like even like the other in October we went to a wedding in November, and I thought, it's just be fine. I'll just be sat next to Cheech on the table. And then she went and sat on the girls' table, and I got plonked on the table with all the boyfriends I've never met. I think I maybe met one. I was just like, but luckily they all like football, so there's a good inroad there. Luckily,
yeah.
But still, it's just that I was like, fully expecting to sit down, have some dinner, go home, whatever. No, I actually think, make an effort, pressure now. Pressure situation. But we made it.
That's a good one. You had some good ones, then.
Yeah, there's probably way more, but until I'm in the situation, I won't remember it.
Yeah, exactly same.
Yeah.
Well, that's that. That's all our cringe/ick moments.
Yeah, sure is. Should we move on to some stories or something?
Yeah.
I might have let me get my charge quick. Oh, my laptop's about to die, I
think. It's about a man in an intimate relationship with a plastic doll after his partner leaves him, because apparently his fiance felt threatened by the doll.
By the doll. Okay. So, I mean, where do you even start with this? So, how long does it say how long he had the doll for?
What do you say? The Aussie carpenter had been left frozen in a state of loneliness in 2021 when he ordered Karina online after searching for sexual stimulation tools.
Okay.
No, he didn't say.
So that means he was basically still with his wife and he felt lonely.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I mean, if it took that to leave him, then God.
It's weird, isn't it? Like you hear so many stories about these, people just buying like these dolls and stuff, and they properly treat them like as if they're human.
Yeah, and they're not cheap, aren't they? Like in the tens of thousands of pounds.
Yeah.
Not
that I know. But like the proper good quality ones.
Yeah. not that we know, not that we've researched. No.
I don't know. Have you? I don't know.
Yeah, you see all these, like what's that program on Channel 4? It's disgusting. What is it? When they get the penises out and they stand there naked, dating show. What is it?
How to look? Oh, no.
No. It's
Naked Truth. No,
Naked Attraction. Naked Attraction. That's it.
That's it. Yes. Yeah.
I think they talk about stuff like this. It's just weird.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the bloke's obviously got issues. Didn't he say introduce it to his parents or something?
Yeah, to his mum after like 2 months of dating her.
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine, like, say Harry is my son, Mila your daughter. Can you imagine when they're more grown up and then they walk through the door with this thing? First glance, you might think, oh, it's real. And then doesn't talk, walk, move, breathe.
Yeah.
What? You just bring up the mental institute just to take it away.
Yeah, it's creepy, man. Especially at night time as well. If you see them just sitting there in the like living room
with their eyes open, like
yeah, man.
it's
weird. Weird, so weird. But yeah, like in Japan, it's like a common thing though, isn't it? It's like years and years ago when they started making these AI dolls, men just have this need because they're saying like nowadays, even more so now, I think since COVID, yeah, young guys just don't date. They date these dolls instead.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of this whole AI stuff now, isn't there? Because of the what do you call them? The metaverse stuff.
Yeah.
People were just dating on that now.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know if you've seen Black Mirror.
I haven't seen it, but I heard it's good.
Yeah, there's an episode with the guy who plays the Falcon on in Avengers.
Right.
And,
yeah.
Yeah, and he games with his mate in the virtual reality universe every day.
Yeah.
And then he ends up having an affair with his mate online. He's like one of his best mates, and like he's got a wife and kids, and then they basically end up in like a full blown relationship, which is really weird. I know the wife ends up letting him have the relationship online just to keep it. It's really odd. But then it's almost this came out like 3-4 years ago. So like now we're getting to that stage where this stuff is probably going to be happening. Probably is happening all the time. People pay money for like you see people spending. Oh, there's a few TikTok videos of people in the metaverse. There's people spending thousands in like virtual strip clubs and paying people money. It's just like the character, the AI character is like this woman basically dressed in nothing, but the actual person controlling it is like some 18-year-old nerd from like some hovel in America sitting in his basement just making all his money preying on weirdo men.
Creepy. That is creepy.
Yeah.
It's like guys like that end up single forever, I think.
Yeah. It's a certain type of bloke, isn't it? But then it's always been like this. There was just no outlet for them. So what did they do before all this stuff?
I mean,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure I can imagine what they'll be doing.
Yeah. Don't want to imagine.
Yeah.
Maybe best not to imagine that.
Yeah, let's not. Yeah, that's the article. That should be enough.
I've got a good one. Yeah, have you seen the whole Jeremy Clarkson stuff?
Really briefly about people trying to get him off the Millionaire Show.
Yeah, because what he said about Meghan Markle.
Yes. What exactly did he say?
So he made a reference to have you seen Game of Thrones?
No.
So let me get the article up. So basically, there's a scene towards the end of the end of the whole series, where one of the characters, I forget her name. Let me see. He basically makes a reference to that. So, what happens in the series is this character is walking down the street,
right,
and she's being like punished. And there's people like she's walking naked through the street. She's had her hair shaved off. All the crowd are just throwing stuff at her, saying "shame, shame, shame." She used to be like the queen or something, but she basically had like an incestuous relationship with her brother.
As you do, yeah.
Yeah. And what Jeremy Clarkson did was essentially quote that, and that's what. Let me get the exact quote up. Jeremy Clarkson.
Oh, God. Can't imagine it being any good.
Yeah, but he referenced that. I don't think many people got the reference, but it's still kind of a weird thing to say. Like it didn't really make much sense.
Right.
Here we go. So Clarkson said he lies awake at night, grinding his teeth, dreaming of the day when she, i.e. Meghan, is made to parade naked through the streets of every town in Britain while the crowd chants shame and throws lumps of excrement at her. So that's essentially what happened in Game of Thrones, but he's now throwing this back to Meghan Markle, saying he'd want that to happen to her.
Oh.
Which is just really weird. And now he's proper backtracking because there was such a massive backlash from everyone. And now he's lost his deals with Amazon. You know, he had the farm show. He's just finished filming that, so that series is coming out, but they've dropped him now.
Wow.
ITV dropped him from Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Was that confirmed? Well, I think there was like a petition of people wanting him to stay or something.
Yeah, but that's people like from the Sun. I know a guy called Dan Wooten. He's a journalist for the Sun, and Daily Mail. But he's a weird bloke as well. But it's just weird. I don't get all the hate that Meghan Markle gets, to be honest. I know that they're doing a lot of press at the moment with Harry and Meghan and stuff, but why even comment? I know your career's just down the pan. I know he's in his 60s anyway, and he's got loads of money, but reputation's just completely shattered.
Yeah.
Just on one comment. But...
And he's always been quite mouthy. Like, he doesn't really have much filter, does he?
Yeah, he got sacked from Top Gear for punching one of the producers in the face.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and that's how the whole Top Gear crew got just separated.
Yeah, and then they went to Amazon. But I can imagine if he's doing stuff like that, you can imagine he's a bit of a knob.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, to be fair, I think when he left Top Gear, when he got sacked from Top Gear, when Matt LeBlanc replaced him, I thought that was really good, much better.
Yeah, it's different, but I don't know. It's still on, isn't it? I don't watch it.
Yeah, it's got Paddy and who else?
Freddie Flintoff.
Yeah, not a fan of.
Yeah, it's a bit forced. And they got that random guy who's like a nobody, but he's the only one who knows anything about cars, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, that's tough, man. Like, he's definitely lost a lot of deals then, if that's the case.
Yeah. Oh well, no real loss.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. What else can we do? All right, cool. Let's go. Thank you for listening to the pod, everyone. Hope you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe if you did enjoy it. We'll be posting a lot more stuff in the coming weeks, so please stay tuned for that, and have a good week.
Bye. Okay, stop recording.
Nice.